Students of Rivers State University have raised alarm over renewed attacks on female hostels, citing worsening campus security. Suspected hoodlums reportedly broke into Hostel H around 5 a.m. on Monday, gaining entry through a window and stealing mobile phones. The incident has sparked widespread outrage, with students accusing university security of focusing more on dress code enforcement than protecting lives and property. A concerned parent told newsmen that female hostels have become regular targets. When contacted, the university management acknowledged the complaint and promised to take appropriate action. This latest incident follows a string of similar break-ins in 2023 at Hostel C, D, and the NDDC hostel, which involved theft of valuables and alleged cases of rape. Those incidents led to students' protests and a visit from the then governor Siminalayi Fubara, who has since been suspended. This officer in charge of the Special Weapons and Tactics Unit, Ebong Thompson, has rejected the sum of 800,000 naira offered to him to secure the release of an armed robbery suspect and cover up the crime. This is as the command has arrested the suspect in connection with the bribe. A statement by the command's public relations officer, DSP Tim Fonjon in Uyo, Akwa Ibom State on Friday said the suspects involved in the deal have been arrested and taken to custody. According to the statement, 53-year-old David Isaac was arrested after a Samsung phone that was snatched at gunpoint was traced to him. John stated that the suspect has a record of similar offenses, having been arrested and charged to court for similar crimes sometime last year but returned to criminal activities after his release. She added that the other suspect, Emmanuel Peter, was arrested and taken to custody after he brought the sum of 8 million naira to the SWAT office to secure the release of the main suspect. Meanwhile, the Commissioner of Police, who has given a commendation letter to the officer, warned the public to desist from compromising police investigation. Akwa Ibom State's Governor Omo Eno has ordered the reconstruction and upgrade of a state-of-the-art National Youth Service Corps orientation camp located at Ikot Iktie Odong in Nsit Antai local government area of the state, and announced the reconstruction during the swearing ceremony of NYSC 2025 Batch B Stream 1 Corps members held at the NYSC permanent camp on Friday. The governor, who was represented by the Commissioner for Youth Development, Dr. Ekerete Ekanem, also approved the construction of youth-friendly hubs across the 31 local government areas of the state with solar power and full internet access. He also charged corps members who would be deployed to the hubs to provide the needed expertise. These initiatives are coming after the governor recently announced an upward review in the allowances of corps members serving in the states to 20,000 naira as all corps members from the state serving in other states of the federation. While assuring the corps members of their safety, the governor charged corps members to explore the communities, understand their values and impact their lives through education, health, and community development. Earlier, the Akwa Ibom coordinator, Mr. Sam Pepple, disclosed that at the end of registration, a total of 1,078 corps members were registered for the service, comprising 518 male and 560 female. Pebble urged the corps members to participate actively in all the activities in order to equip themselves with the basic ingredients of leadership. Edo State Governor Monde Kwebelo has approved the list of 4 commissioner nominees to be appointed into the State Executive Council. The identity of the nominees was unveiled in a statement signed by the Secretary to the State Government, Omar Musa Ikilo. The nominees are Nosa Adams, Yakubu Oshorenwa Musa, Felix Akaboy, and Professor Omorodion Ignatius Ikpomwosa. ATN reports that Nosa Adams, a member of the PDP legal group in the state, was once a state public secretary of PDP, former chairman of Ego Local Government Council, special advisor to the Edo State Governor, and general manager, Edo State Rubber Estates. He is a member of the Nigerian Bar Association and currently the principal partner at Nosa Adams and Co. Yakubu Oshorenua Musa, a former chairman of Etako West Local Government Area, holds degrees in agriculture and business administration. On his part, Felix Akabwe was the former chairman of Eson West Local Government Area between the administrations of Professor Osehiemen Osumbo and Comrade Adams Oshomele, and a commissioner during the administration of Governor Godwin Obasaki. He was the national president of the Association of Local Governments of Nigeria, a distinguished Nigerian chartered accountant, businessman, political leader, and community advocate. Lagos State chapter of the People's Democratic Party has expelled some members who recently declared allegiance to the African Democratic Congress, citing gross misconduct and disloyalty. The expulsion was confirmed by Segun Edwards, spokesperson for the PDP Elders Caucus and chairman of the party in one of Lagos State's 20 local government areas. He made the announcement following a strategic stakeholder meeting convened to evaluate the outcome of the PDP National Executive Committee meeting held in Abuja the previous week. Edwards disclosed that the stakeholders, comprising local government chairmen and party elders, resolved to remove the members from the PDP with immediate effect. Their expulsion was predicated on their open endorsement of a rival party, which the leader said amounted to a betrayal of the PDP's values and constitution. The meeting mandated all local government PDP chairmen to commence mobilization efforts in preparation for the forthcoming congresses. These internal elections, scheduled between September and November, will span all levels of the party structure from local councils to the national convention. The PDP elders reaffirmed their commitment to revitalizing the party in Lagos State and warned that any further acts of indiscipline will be met with strict sanctions. According to party sources, the decision is aimed at consolidating internal unity ahead of the congresses and ensuring that only committed members take part in the restructuring process. Oyo State government has reiterated its commitments to enforcing environmental laws, cautioning residents against the indiscriminate dumping of waste and the practice of open defecation and urination. According to the government, both indiscriminate dumping of waste and open defecation are now prosecuted offences under the state's environmental regulations. The Commissioner for Environment and Natural Resources, Sheun Ashamu, issued the warning on Friday during the arraignment of environmental offenders at the Environmental Tribunal Court located within the ministry's premises. Ashamu emphasized the need for residents to desist from disposing of household waste in market skip bins. He urged them to register with government-approved private sector participants or certified waste collectors in their respective local government areas. He disclosed that the Environmental Tribunal Court is now fully operational and empowered to prosecute violators of the state's environmental laws. According to him, nearly 1,000 offenders have already faced penalties, including fines, community service, and imprisonment of up to 1 month. He called on all residents to register with certified waste collectors and comply with environmental laws to promote a cleaner, greener, and safer Oyo State. National Youth Service Corps on Friday swore in 1,200 corps members for the 2025 Batch B Stream 1 orientation in Benue. State Coordinator Mrs. Veronica Garba gave the figure during the swearing-in at the NYC orientation camp in Wanune Tarka local government area. In her address, Garba urged the corps members to engage in all camp activities designed to develop their leadership potential and national consciousness. She said they would face healthy competitions where they must demonstrate discipline, teamwork, and the spirit of sportsmanship throughout their stay in camp. Garba added that corps members would also be involved in administrative operations to enhance their leadership and civic responsibilities. She assured the corps members that the people and government of Benue were hospitable and urged them to feel at home. Garba appreciated Governor Hyacinth Alia for his unwavering support to the NYC, especially in ensuring the safety of corps members. She noted that the governor prioritized corps members' security by facilitating deployment to their various places of primary assignment. Governor Alia, represented by Mr. Philip Nongu, Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Youth, Sports and Creativity, congratulated the corps members on completing their studies. He expressed concern over national security. Independent National Electoral Commission in Kano State has said that there is no legal backing for the term inconclusive elections in Nigeria's electoral laws. The resident electoral commissioner, Abdul Zango, made this known while addressing stakeholders at a meeting held at the INEC headquarters in Kano. The meeting was part of preparations for the upcoming by-election and rerun in the Bagwai and Shanono and Gari and Sanyawa state constituencies scheduled for August 16. Zango explained that the Electoral Act does not recognize the phrase inconclusive elections, even though it has been used in previous election cycles. He stated that INEC is committed to conducting credible elections and will declare winners based solely on unlawful and verifiable results. Zango further noted that the by-election in Bagwai and Shanono became necessary following the death of a sitting lawmaker. On the other hand, the rerun in Gari and Sanyawa will be held in 10 polling units based on a court order. Zango also assured stakeholders that the bimodal voter accreditation system will be used for accrediting voters, and results will be uploaded to the INEC results viewing portal in time. Niger State is still grappling with cholera outbreaks, with 27 patients currently on admission across 4 local government areas, despite having discharged over 327 patients. Recall that the state government had earlier claimed the containment of the disease, with over 327 patients treated and discharged, with about 10 still on admission. According to Uria Mahmudu, Deputy State Disease Surveillance Officer, UNICEF, new cases have been reported in Chanchago, Shiroro, Munya, and Wushishi local government areas. Mahmudu, who stated this when delivering another round of cholera response supplies to the states to assist in breaking the transmission chain in Mina, said currently 10 patients are on admission at the CTC in Kuta, in Shiroro, 8 in Wushishi, 7 in Chanchaga, and 2 in Kabula in Munya local governments. He assured that the supplies will be judiciously used by ensuring that patients receive treatment and go home with hygiene packages, while communities with suspected or confirmed cases will also be given the items to prevent further spread. Presenting the items on behalf of the UNICEF, the water, sanitation and hygiene specialist at the Kaduna Field Office, Teresa Palmer, who led the team to the State Ministry of Health, explained that the intervention is important as the state continues to record fresh cases of cholera. She also warned that Niger State has 46% open defecation rate, while the consumption of unsafe water remains the major driver of cholera. Kaduna Police has arrested a man for allegedly impersonating Northern Governors. Kaduna State Police Command has arrested a young man named Withheld for allegedly impersonating several Northern Governors to defraud unsuspecting Nigerians. According to the state police spokesman, ASP Mansour Hassan, the suspect was apprehended after successfully scamming multiple victims while posing as top government officials. The identities of the impersonated governors were not disclosed. Hassan confirmed that investigations are ongoing to determine the full extent of the suspect's fraudulent activities, with more details expected from the police in due course. Gombe State Governor Muhammadu Yahaya has reaffirmed his administration's commitment to the safety and welfare of National Youth Service Corps members posted to the state, assuring them of a peaceful and enabling environment throughout their service year. ATN reports that no fewer than 940 Corps members took the oath of allegiance, marking their formal admission into the mandatory 3-week orientation course. The governor made the pledge on Friday during the formal swearing-in ceremony of the 2025 Batch B Stream 1 Corps members held at the NYSC Temporary Orientation Camp, Government Science Technical College, Amada in Aku local government area. Represented by the Commissioner for Youth and Sports Development and Chairman, NYSC State Governing Board, Inuab Ibrahim welcomed the Corps members to the duel in the savannah. Governor Yahaya described Gombe as a safe haven, stressing that his administration places high priority on youth development, peace and security. Yahaya encouraged the Corps members to integrate into their host communities and contribute meaningfully to the socio-economic development of the state. Naira 620 kilowatt small hydropower solar hybrid power system at the Balanga Dam in Talasai, Balanga local government area. ATN reports that the project is funded by the European Union, the Global Environment Facility, and the Rural Electrification Agency, and implemented by the United Nations Industrial Development Organization. The project is poised to provide clean, reliable energy to thousands of residents, support agricultural activities, and support local economic development. Speaking during the flag-off ceremony at the Bala Waja Palace, Gombe State Governor Muhammadu Yahaya, represented by his deputy, Dr. Manasa Jatau, said the energy intervention was a bold step towards achieving sustainable growth. The hybrid system combines hydropower and solar energy technologies to maximize power generation year-round. It is part of broader efforts to strengthen off-grid electrification, especially in underserved and rural communities. According to Yahaya, energy is the engine of development. With stable electricity, small businesses will thrive, schools and health centers will function better, and the agricultural value chain will be significantly enhanced. He called on residents of Balanga and adjoining communities to protect and make optimal use of the project. You're watching the Global News on Atlantic Television Network. We'll be back after this break.
from the lines across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains. Through the Sahara, we bring on-spot news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economic, sports, and documentaries. So catch all your hits on the happenings around the world. Stay focused on the fact today. On 18.
So no agreement with the EU, but
Welcome back. This is the Global News on Atlantic Television Network. And now to the rest of our stories. President Bola Tinubu has called on young Nigerians to harness the potential of new media to promote unity rather than division and to shape a digital environment rooted in compassion, discipline and patriotism. Speaking on Friday at the opening of the two-day Progressive Digital Media Summit, themed Unveiling the Critical Role of New Media in National Development, held at the State House Banquet Hall in Abuja, Tinubu said new media is now a key driver of national progress. The president also cautioned against the risks of misinformation in today's digital era. He reaffirmed his government's dedication to developing infrastructure and fostering innovation to strengthen the digital space. The president hailed Nigerian youths as the nation's most valuable resource, emphasizing that their creativity, energy and dedication to progress are vital to national growth. He encouraged them to use their platforms for more than just personal branding. Independent National Electoral Commission has announced that it will commence online voter pre-registration on Monday, August 18, 2025 as part of efforts to streamline the voter registration process ahead of upcoming elections. The initiative reviewed by INEC Chairman Professor Mahmood Yakubu during a press briefing in Abuja on Friday, August 1, 2025, aims to enhance accessibility and efficiency for eligible Nigerians. The online pre-registration portal, accessible via INEC's official website, will now allow new voters and those seeking to transfer or update their voter details to submit their information remotely. Yakubu explained that the platform is designed to reduce physical congestion at registration centers and improve convenience, particularly for young and tech-savvy citizens. Eligible Nigerians aged 18 and above, as well as registered voters needing to update their records, can participate. The pre-registration exercise will run concurrently with physical registration at INEC offices and designated centers nationwide, with the Commission assuring robust cybersecurity measures to protect user data. Yakubu urged citizens to take advantage of the opportunity, emphasizing the importance of voter registration for credible elections. The initiative follows INEC's recent efforts to expand voter access, including the distribution of over 1.2 million uncollected permanent voter cards and the adoption of technology for result transmission. Minister of Marine and Blue Economy Adegboyega Oyetola has taken action to tackle the growing incidence of boat accidents across Nigeria's waterways. Speaking in Abuja on Friday while receiving the report of the Special Committee on the Prevention of Boat Mishaps in Nigeria, Oyetola declared that the federal government resolved to act on the recommendations presented, describing the current situation as both unacceptable and preventable. Emphasizing the need for a change in public behavior, especially around the use of life jackets, the minister described such safety equipment as non-negotiable and essential for waterway travel. He also reviewed that the federal government plans to phase out aging and unsafe boats, often linked to fatal accidents, replacing them with safer, standard compliance alternatives. Oyetola further disclosed that he recently approved the nationwide distribution of life jackets to riverine and coastal communities. He appealed to beneficiaries to use them responsibly and consistently while traveling on water. The 16-member Special Committee, inaugurated on February 27, 2025, was given the mandate to undertake a holistic review of commercial boat operations in Nigeria, identify the root causes of mishaps, and recommend actionable, sustainable solutions. Presenting the reports to the minister, Committee Chairman and Managing Director of the National Inland Waterways Authority, Bola Oyebamiji, said the team exceeded its initial 6-week mandate to ensure a credible and detailed outcome. National Association of Nigerian Nurses and Midwives has called off its warning strike. The Minister of Health, Ali Patek, announced on Friday. Speaking to journalists after a closed-door meeting in Abuja, Patek said the decision followed agreement reached between the government and the association's leadership. However, union leaders declined to speak to the press after the meeting. Nurses and midwives under the association had begun a nationwide warning strike on July 29 over unmet demands, including improved welfare, fair allowances, and better working conditions in federal health institutions. The strike, which affected public health institutions across the country, was scheduled to last until August 5. The union's national chairman, Morakinyo Riwan, had previously accused the federal government of failing to engage with the association during the 15-day ultimatum issued on July 14. The association is demanding an upward review of shift and uniform allowances, implementation of a separate salary structure for nurses, increased call duty allowance, mass employment of nurses, and the creation of a dedicated nursing department in the Federal Ministry of Health. Rewan had also said the decision to embark on the strike was driven by widespread frustration among members over years of neglect. Executive Secretary of the Universal Basic Education Commission, Dr. Aisha Garba, has declared that Nigeria's education sector is facing a crisis of great magnitude, requiring the concerted efforts of all stakeholders to ensure quality basic education for children. Speaking at a stakeholders meeting co-hosted by the Nigeria Governors Forum and UBEC in Abuja, Garba highlighted the dual challenges of the country's massive out-of-school population recently, estimated by UNESCO at 20 million, and the growing learning crisis, where children enrolled in schools fail to acquire basic literacy and numeracy skills. According to a statement on Friday, the meeting brought together top education policymakers from all 36 states alongside technical experts and development partners from the World Bank, European Union, and UNICEF. In her opening address, Garba warned that the future of millions of children and the nation's overall development were at risk, emphasizing the urgent need for synergy among stakeholders. As part of efforts to address the crisis, she unveiled the Hope Edu program, a major government initiative developed in partnership with international donors. Garba noted that the aim of the meeting was to move beyond dialogue and develop concrete, evidence-based strategies to rescue a generation of learners. The workshop served as a platform for state officials to review existing policies and explore the potential for scaling up successful interventions, including the use of educational technology. International Human Rights Commission Office in Nigeria has called on President Bola Tinubu to extend a presidential pardon to the suspended Deputy Commissioner of Police, Abba Kyari, in the interest of national security. The IHRC's appeal was contained in a statement issued by its head of diplomatic mission in Nigeria, Duru Hezekiah, and made available to journalists on Friday in Abuja. Hezekiah, in a statement, noted that the appeal had become necessary in light of the rising wave of insecurity across the country, from terrorism and kidnapping to organized crime and armed banditry. The Commission also called for a national dialogue on the matter in order to consolidate growing public and stakeholder support for a strategic and conditional presidential pardon for Kyari. The Commission, however, reaffirmed its respect for the ongoing judicial proceedings against the suspended DCP. It clarified that the appeal was not aimed at influencing court decisions, but at seeking consideration for the country's strategic national interest, particularly in the event that such a move is not feasible during the course of the trial. Excuse me. While reaffirming its commitment to justice and the rule of law, the IHRC proposed that Nigeria could explore the option of conditional clemency, citing Section 175 of the 1999 Constitution as amended, which empowers the President to grant pardons and reprieves. And now to some business news. Western Zone of the Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria has said tankers will no longer load more than 45,000 litres of the product from October 1. The chairman of the zone, Chief Oyewole Akane, disclosed this in an interview with newsmen in Ibadan on Friday. Akane stated that the measure was adopted in a joint meeting involving IPMAN, the government and other stakeholders held to reduce the cases of petroleum tanker accidents. The stakeholders, he said, are the petroleum tanker drivers, Nigerian Association of Road Transport Owners, the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority, and oil marketers. Akane stated that the government had also mandated all tankers to install safety covers that prevent spillage in the event of a crash. He, however, lamented the activities of vandals who deliberately punch up falling tankers to steal fuel, describing it as a major challenge. The IPMAN chairman also said that PDT discovered that most accidents occurred at night due to fatigue. Akane assured that IPMAN would continue to work with stakeholders to ensure that tanker-related accidents were minimized. Nigeria Customs Service has announced December 31, 2025 as a deadline for the migration from the current fast-track scheme to the globally recognized Authorized Economic Operator program. Announcing this in a statement on Friday, the National Public Relations Officer of the service, Abdullahi Maiwada, stressed that the move is in furtherance of its commitment to align Nigeria's trade facilitation procedures with international best practices. Maiwada explained that the strategic move is grounded in the World Customs Organization's safe framework of standards and backed by sections 108 to 111 of the Nigeria Customs Service Act 2023. According to Maiwada, the AEO program is a structured initiative that offers trusted traders who meet specified compliance, financial and security criteria a certain level of priority treatment in customs processes, including pre-arrival clearance, minimal inspection, expedited release, and possible mutual recognition with other customs administrations. The NCS spokesperson reiterated that the scheme is also designed to build trust, ensure cargo integrity, and enhance the predictability and transparency of Nigeria's import-export operations. He highlighted that as part of the rollout and stakeholder education process, the NCS will be hosting a stakeholders engagement forum. He encouraged all eligible operators to embrace this transition and participate actively in the program to sustain their competitive advantage while contributing to a more secure, transparent, and efficient trade environment in Nigeria. You are still watching the news on Atlantic Television Network. Up next is International Tidbits. Angolan President João Lourenço praised security forces Friday for quelling unrest that claimed 30 lives over 2 days, but rights groups accused them of killing defenseless people. Dozens of shops and warehouses in Luanda were looted and vehicles attacked on Monday and Tuesday when a strike against a fuel price hike descended into some of the worst violence in the oil-rich country in years. The unrest spread to several provinces, and police said that by late Thursday they had confirmed 30 deaths, including a police officer, with more than 270 people injured, among them 10 members of the defense and security forces. The police did not say what caused the deaths, but civil society groups and opposition parties blamed the security forces, who are regularly accused of using excessive force against demonstrators. In his first public comments on the situation, Lourenço said law enforcement acted within the framework of their obligations and therefore the order was promptly restored. More than 1,500 people were arrested, 118 businesses vandalized, and 24 public buses attacked, according to police. President John Mahama of Ghana has assured Nigeria of the safety of its nationals residing in Ghana, stating that there is no place for xenophobia in the country. Mahama also reaffirmed Ghana's commitment to the Economic Community of West African States protocols, especially those concerning the free movement of persons and goods within the region. A statement on Friday by the Special Assistant on Communications and New Media to the Minister of State for Foreign Affairs, Magnus Eze, said that the Ghanaian president gave the assurance on Thursday while receiving President Bola Tinubu's special envoy led by Minister of State for Foreign Affairs, Ambassador Bianca Odumegu Ojukwu, at the Presidential Palace in Accra. He attributed the tension to the recirculation of a video recorded over a decade ago by a Nigerian residing in Ghana, saying the incident was promptly managed. The Ghanaian president promised to protect the lives, properties, and businesses of Nigerians in Ghana. Earlier, Odumegu Ojukwu said the visit was to douse tension following the circulation of the video that triggered concerns back in Nigeria. The minister also disclosed plans to facilitate the establishment of a permanent Nigeria-Ghana Joint Commission, which she said would help address youth migration driven by high unemployment rates. She added that she would be meeting with the Nigerian community in Ghana to encourage them to obey local laws and conduct themselves as good ambassadors of their country. Here now is ATN Sports News. Newcastle United have rejected Liverpool's opening offer for Alexander Isak. According to newsmen, the bid is believed to be around £110 million plus add-ons. However, the total offer did not reach £120 million. The Premier League champions are now preparing to submit the second offer. The Magpies are desperate to hold on to Isak beyond the summer and value the striker at £150 million. Isak is currently in Spain, where he is training alone at his former club Real Sociedad's training facilities. The Swede has stayed away from Newcastle's pre-season tour of Asia, with the club claiming he was recovering from a minor thigh problem. However, it has become clear that the 25-year-old wants to leave St. James Park this summer. Chelsea on Friday announced transfer deals for two players, Mamadou Sarr and Leo Castodine. In a statement on their website, the Premier League West London club said Sarr had joined French League One side Strasbourg on a season-long loan. Sarr, who was included in Chelsea's squad for the 2025 World Cup, joined the Blues from Strasbourg in June. The centre-back of France under-20 international made his Chelsea debut in their victory over ES Tunis and featured in every match they scored en route to the Blues being crowned world champions.